If you're here to watch amazing voice actors do amazing things with amazing story, you will soon be horribly incorrect. But thanks for watching anyway. Alright, so our story is beginning with you just now about to embark off of a hairpad in a location called Highguard. Highguard is this beautiful city where they primarily train soldiers to spread throughout the country of Husmore. And one of you is actually already on the ship. Heiress is already on the ship, and you've been here for probably about 30 minutes when a massive explosion happens somewhere from in the courtyard. Now, you were there earlier, and you're really unsure of what could have caused that. But you're down here actually in one of the bunks already. You probably had a nice meal. You're just sitting there kind of relaxing. What are you doing?
Like, I'm probably gonna try and find a window to look out.
Well, in the rooms actually there are no windows, but this all here is siding. There's in the room itself where you're currently at, there is no siding or there's no windows or anything like that. But if you just exit the room, you can go off one of the sides. So would you like to do that? Go outside.
Okay, yes. Heiress would like to go outside.
Okay. From this direction, you kind of walk towards the back of the boat, and towards the south, you can actually see a massive plume of black smoke just engulfing the whole sky in that area. It's whatever the explosion was, it's kind of far off, but it was loud enough that you could feel it and you could see the smoke coming from it.
Did it seem like it was somewhere near where my brother I last saw him at?
Go ahead and just give me an intelligence check.
14.
Alright, so a 14. You're looking at the smoke, and they're probably pretty close to the same area, but it looks like it's probably a little further away than where you were staying. And while you look over here, you can see several people kind of crowding around you now, looking off into the distance, seeing the smoke. And not too long after that, you can see someone heading towards the ship. Now, you're staying right near the ramp, so she kind of just walks up and has to go right past you, and quickly is greeted by somebody else. And there's a conversation kind of happening over there. What would Heiress like to do at this point?
I would like to kind of try and listen.
Are you try to sneak that around, or are you just going to, obviously eavesdrop?
Sneak.
Alright, roll me a stealth check and a perception check.
9.
Okay, you think you're stealthy. What's a perception check?
3.
You're kind of obviously staring at both of them pretty intently, like you're trying to focus, but there's an orc to the right of you. Just like, what was that explosion? Does anybody know what happened? What's going on? And he's just really loud and obnoxious. But we're going to cut over to little Ketsia over here. So as you enter the ship, big plume of smoke behind you, you're greeted by this little old man who just approaches you. Well, hello there. You must be Ketsia, correct?
Yes I am.
Oh, good. We were waiting on you. Is that going to be a problem?
No, we just need to go. We need to leave.
Okay, everybody, if you wouldn't mind going to your cabins, you've all been assigned cabins, so you know exactly where you need to be. Go to your cabins, and we will be taking off shortly. And once, as he said, you've been assigned to cabins already. So, Heiress, you know right where to go. You go ahead and kind of hang out in your cabin. And he goes, oh, you're in bunk 2. Go to 2. And you go walk down, and you can actually see that they are, in fact, labeled 1, 2, and there is a free bed. So you boop. But after a few moments, the ship, you can feel this odd vibration from beneath you. The entire ship seems to kind of shift and jut and slowly lift into the air. And it does this until it's clear of just about anything, no mountaintops, no trees like that, and it begins to set off. And it does so in kind of a jarring fashion. It kind of lunges forward before finding its kind of natural stride and soaring through the sky. After just a few moments, you can hear this voice that just kind of emanates from somewhere in the room, but where exactly you don't know here. Alright, everybody, you're now free to move about the ship. Please, don't fall off the ship.
So I want to look around and see who is in the room with me.
Alright, it's pretty easy. You can see, well, Heiress, why don't you go ahead and give us a general description of what does Heiress look like?
Okay. Heiress right now, she has long kind of it looks like fire for hair, but it is hair. And she's got kind of a darker red skin. Her eyes are like a gold. And she's kind of wearing a dress with a dirty, wasn't it a guard cloak? Or whatever that she had on when we left?
You probably would not have that on anymore.
Okay, well, she's just wearing a dress right now, and it's a really fancy dress.
Definitely a little out of place. And the person in between you two, as you can see, you look across and you can see this woman, a fire person, just kind of hanging out there. I still haven't learned how to say that word, Ganeshi. I don't know if that's correct. I'll learn it for sure. You can see her sitting over there, just kind of minding her own business. And in between both of you is a half-orc woman, eclipsing both of you in size. The beds are snug for both of you. This woman is kind of hanging off the bed in most fashions. Her feet hang off the edge, as well as just her girth. She's quite a large half-orc. But she looks to be mostly asleep. The explosion really didn't excite her. She lay down and just was relaxing throughout the entire thing.
Ugh.
Or maybe she's dead. You don't know. She's not moving a lot.
Heiress is gonna go with dead.
Okay, you assume
Not
she
gonna
is dead.
bother.
Not going to check on her, you would just assume she is dead. Good.
Yeah.
Gonna look over and are you okay over there?
Who are you talking to?
The dead
fire?
one.
Okay. There's no reaction.
I'm gonna go with dead.
Oh, okay. No one's going to check on her. Yeah, she just continues to lay there. Just seems pretty motionless. Her left arm hangs and it touches the floor. Just limp. Just hanging out.
Yeah, no, Heiress does not care.
Fair enough. You guys want to do anything? Go explore the ship. You can hear doors being opened and closed as other people within the rooms exit to go about kind of exploring. You're way up in the sky at this point.
Yeah, Heiress is gonna just kind of sit down and kind of try and be calm.
Try to be calm. All right.
I'm gonna go walk out to whatever window and try to look down to see if I can see anything as we're leaving.
We'll say you go towards the, probably the rear because you're flying away from high guard. So you head towards the rear and you can look out and you can see before you were moving away from the plume of smoke, so you never really took it in. It's in full force now. It is massive. It is dark and just thick black smoke just billowing up from somewhere in the courtyard.
Gonna go back to my room.
Okay. Go back to your room and just kind of sit at the end of your bed, just kind of taking in the events of the day.
My name's Heiress, and she's gonna like be looking at the girl.
I'm just gonna look over. And just look down, like almost like I didn't hear her the first time.
My name is Heiress.
Hi.
What is yours?
Gonna get up and walk out the room.
Okay. Yeah. She walks.
So at this
clear
point,
out
do
of
I
your
know
view.
who this person is?
Go ahead and give me an intelligence check.
16.
16. You know for the fact that you've seen this girl before, and although you're not 100% sure, you're almost positive that was one of the Fire Ganassi that came in and was more than likely one of the younger siblings. You're not 100% sure on that, but it's pretty likely.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the window I was at before.
Okay. You want to look back towards your homeland, or do you want to see where you're heading?
I just want to look back at my homeland.
You do just that. You can still see the ship isn't very quick. That's the thing about the airships, is they are large. They're capable of moving lots of material, people, safely through the countrysides. But they are slow. They're actually probably slower than just a horse-drawn carriage. They almost just kind of gingerly float to their destination, but it is one of the safer ways to travel. Anything else from anybody?
Is Randy anywhere in here?
Randy's probably sitting at the foot of your bed.
Oh. Okay.
He's just kind of standing there. He was never addressed, sitting quietly.
So, Randy.
Yes, madam.
It is quite rude not to answer someone when they ask your name, isn't it?
Yes, madam, but to my understanding, most of these people are just simpletons and ruffians. Manners are not something we will find here.
Oh, yes. And she's gonna go and kind of change into, like, something more not so fancy.
Okay. With a snap of his fingers, there's a puff of purple smoke, which presents your trunk, and he opens it up to help you find new clothes. Can you give us a general description of what you're going to put on?
Okay, so she's gonna put on maybe, like, some knee-high, like, boots, so that they're more for, like, if she was gonna go horseback riding, so they're more for, like, outdoorsy stuff.
Okay, yeah.
And then she'll probably have, like, a cloak.
Mm-hmm.
and then just a general, like, kind of like dress that's more outdoorsy than her other ones.
Another dress, though. Okay, yeah. So you go ahead and throw that all on, and you're a little more adventure-y now.
Yeah.
And with another snap of his fingers, the trunk disappears out of you in a puff of purple smoke.
Okay. And then Heiress is just gonna read her one book about the Huntress.
Okay, you read your children's book. Okay, your day continues, and it's going to take probably about 2 days worth of travel before you are capable of actually reaching your destination. And, you know, you meet some people. There are some nice people. Later, at some point, Ketsia, you're able to realize that the woman who introduced herself to you and how you now believe to be potentially one of the Monets does have a little companion with her that was actually too short to see over the bed. He is a small gnome in a very nice tuxedo, and he doesn't say much or do much. He's just kind of always there. He's got a bit of a crooked nose, and his left ear is bent inward a little more than the other. Other than that, he's a pretty unassuming little guy, just kind of always there.
Huh, okay.
So minutes turn to hours, hours into a full day, and roughly 25 hours after you've embarked on your journey, you are still there with no end in sight. A little bit of cabin fever here. I need both of you to roll me a constitution check. Ketsia, give me with advantage. So you roll twice, take the highest number.
14.
With advantage? You roll twice, take the highest number? Okay.
18.
You know, you're accustomed to high altitudes, but this has just been hell. You feel awful. It's probably a few thousand feet higher than whatever you've ever been at the top of the mountain. Surprisingly, Heiress it's kind of taken a liking to it. It doesn't seem to be bothering you that much. But after about 25, 26 hours into your venture, it's starting to weigh on all of you. And you can hear, again, this kind of mysterious voice just emanates from all over. Okay, there's a bit change of plans. It appears we have somebody following us. I don't really know what that's about. Someone come up on the deck and give me a hand.
Is that just to anybody?
Yeah, just whoever's available.
I'm gonna go to the deck.
Okay. Is Heiress also going to go, or are you going to stay in your room?
I'm gonna send Randy.
Okay, so the man stands back, he's at the wheel, and he's turning it left and right, and he says, go ahead and just, if you wouldn't mind, there, what was your name again, miss?
Sia. It's easy to remember.
Sia, that's right. I will still probably forget your name. Anyway, if you just wouldn't mind looking over the back of the ship here and just try to see if you can see any colors being flown or anything like that.
Okay.
So give me a perception check.
3.
You don't see the ship. You look back, and the ship is clearly to this south kind of area, but you're looking far to the west, just a little confused in the whole thing. Like, I can see this ship at all. But thankfully, Randy's there, and Randy's going to try to give it a look. Randy sees where you're looking and immediately takes point. He's like, I don't see it either. I don't know what this guy's talking about. Nobody is aware of the ship. So he's going to go ahead and peek out to the back, because you two are clearly useless. And he does, in fact, see it, and slowly this alarm slowly starts to rise. Okay, everybody, I need you all on deck. Repeat, everybody, get to the deck. You all meet kind of towards the center of the deck, and aren't really sure of what comes next, but now that he's made it clear, you all can look towards the south, and you do, in fact, see there is a ship rising above you slowly, and it is gaining on you. And the ethereal voice from everywhere once again repeats, okay, so it looks like we are going to be boarded. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's probably not a good thing. So, everybody, we need you on your best behavior. Do not upset the pirates, or they might just shoot us out of the sky. This is not equipped with weapons. Understand? And there's a pretty collective yes from everybody. Anything special from you two?
I'm gonna go try and look at the ship.
Okay, at this point, he doesn't want people up on the bridge, so you kind of stand off to this side, and you can see it's raising higher and higher. Roll me a perception check.
10.
Yes, did you see the ship? There's a ship. It's in the sky, and it is rising above you. That is about, boy, this is a good start. The ship slowly rises higher and higher and higher, and matching your speed now, it now rests directly above all of you. And it stays there for probably about 10 minutes until ropes are thrown over the edge, and about a dozen pirates start to descend from above, all holding cutlasses and ready to fight. They land down and surround all of you. And one of the main pirates, you see him wearing this large, like, ornate hat. It's got a large feather sticking off to the right side, and he holds a golden cutlass. He slowly walks through the crowd, swinging his sword slowly, kind of picking you out individually.
Yarr. Yes, be my ship now, unless someone has something to say about it.
Heiress isn't gonna say shit.
So he starts to walk through, continuing to slowly pace, stopping at people left and right, as most of them just kind of look down. And he stops here.
What about you, miss? Would you have a problem with us taking this ship?
I'm just not gonna say anything.
That's what I thought. What about you?
No.
Good. For this ship belongs to me now.
And he walks up, and as he gets up there, you realize that whoever's behind the wheel has just disappeared. Just gone. His crew begins to scatter out throughout the ship, kind of taking up positions all over the area, surrounding you all at this point, as a hooded figure definitely takes up position kind of behind him, his arms crossed, silently staring out on all of you. What do you want to do?
Perception check for the hooded figure.
Yes, give me a perception check.
13.
You don't know specifically who he is, of course, but you get the sense he definitely has some weight behind him. He's not... You're surrounded by pirates that are wearing just kind of rags. Besides the captain and this hooded figure, everyone seems kind of just boring, but he has this kind of element of power to him. You just look at him and you just know that he's just someone worth taking notice of, and he's definitely dangerous. But as for who he is, you're just not quite sure.
Okay, I'm just gonna stand there quietly then.
Okay.
Same.
Okay. So slowly the ship begins to turn course. Where originally you were going towards Greenmoor, it is now seemingly heading in a completely different direction, while the ship above turns the opposite direction, more than likely returning back to its home base.
Heiress is gonna go stand close to the girl that didn't say anything.
Okay. So you're all kind of just huddled together. At this point, a lot of the crew is probably kind of being round up into one area. And after just a while of flying, the captain speaks up. The new pirate captain speaks up.
Yar, you must all be getting to your bunks. It must be a bumpy ride.
Okay. And Heiress is gonna go stride over to her bunk.
Okay. You all head over to your bunks, and you can tell that as you go in, these pirates are closing the door behind you and clearly keeping watch just outside of it.
I'm going to try and whisper to where it's loud enough for Randy to hear. We can't go to some random place. I am a noble. What will they do to me if they find out?
Okay. Go ahead and give me a stealth check. We'll let you roll stealth first before we can see if Katya can even hear.
15.
Yeah, you're relatively stealthy enough where Randy turns and goes,
Yes, ma'am. We must find a way off of this ship, or something very bad could happen. Yes.
What if we find them?
Just us alone would surely die, but if we can rally the others, we might be able to take the ship back.
Okay, we'll pull a huntress. Kill them all.
I've never read that book, madam, but I agree.
I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna go over to the other girl's bed. We're going to fight them. Will you help?
How do you plan on doing that?
I have magic.
Oh,
Heiress is kind of excited right now.
I don't.
Do you have anything?
No.
She's gonna look to Randy and kind of give him like the look like, do you have anything?
and he just looks up and just gingerly shakes his head like, not a damn thing.
I'm guessing those are like cupboards in the room, right? Those little...
Yeah, they're like little chest or drawers and things for you to put your things. Just whatever you need.
Yeah, Heiress is gonna start going through them.
Okay, give me a investigation check.
Natural 20!
These chest or drawers, when opened, reveal that they are in fact empty and only for your use.
What a waste.
Nothing in them. They are strictly for you and your compatriots to put things in.
It's just me, the other girl, and Randy in here, right?
There is a half-orc woman, kind of maybe asleep, and she has not moved through all this.
Heiress is going to stride up to the bed and kind of like gently tap her on the shoulder.
She doesn't move an inch.
She's going to tap harder.
No, there doesn't seem to be much activity there. She's, again, either dead or in a very sound sleep.
Heiress is gonna kind of like sit on her bed, and then she's gonna do her produce flame
Okay.
and kind of like hold it over her face to kind of like maybe she'll wake up to some warmth or something on her face.
Are you gonna
Like, I'm
burn
not
this
touching
woman's face? Okay.
No, I'm not
Um,
touching her. I'm, like holding it above, so maybe her face will get like she'll get uncomfortable and she'll wake up.
let's go ahead and see. No, she's out cold. She is just, again, might be dead. No one's checked on her, and she hasn't moved in several hours.
Okay, Heiress is going to see that she's not moving, and then she's going to put away the produce flame, and then she's gonna stand right in the middle, and she's just gonna like hit real hard down on like in her stomach.
Okay, roll me an
Not
attack.
like trying to hurt her.
Roll.
But, like,
You have
really
to
try and
roll me an attack.
20.
Oh, yeah, 20? Yeah, so you rear back, and just a solid thud to the stomach. How much damage did your unarmed strike do?
1.
It does 1 damage.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, she moves, but it does not wake her up because it was such a small amount of damage. So she's not dead. You have confirmed that she isn't dead, so there's a plus to striking a stranger in their bed.
Heiress is just gonna start shaking, like kind of like whispering, "You have to get up. We're being boarded by pirates."
Go ahead and give me a strength check to see if you can physically move this creature. Very big.
So 19.
Yeah, you're able to do it. So you grab her and you start shaking her, and after just a little bit, she's kind of like wobbling in your arms, and she's not moving a lot, and her eyes shoot open and stare at you, and they are blood red, just very bloodshot eyes, and this big of air just excretes out of her mouth. And when it hits you in the face, it's the most sour smell you could imagine, and it just fills your nostrils. You can feel your nostrils just burn as you inhale her breath, and she looks up at you, awake.
She's gonna step back, and then she's gonna be whispering as she's stepping back, "We've been boarded by pirates. They're taking us somewhere. We have to fight them."
We've been boarded by what? Pirates!
Pirates.
She slowly starts to move, and you can realize she's a bit high-centered in this bed. I don't think she can get up.
Help me, help me.
I'm
And
gonna
she's
hold out my
reaching.
hand.
I'm gonna run over and help push too.
Okay, so go ahead and both of you roll me a strength check.
6.
Natural
I'm-
20.
Okay, good.
At some point you can see Heiress is grabbing by the arm and pulling, and it's not moving anything, but thankfully Sia can kind of get up under her from the back and lift at the shoulders. And at some point, Heiress just realizes she's not actually doing anything and just kind of lets go. And Sia is able to actually help her to sitting upright, where she can swing her legs up and stand. And when she stands with such force, you can feel the board that you're both sharing warp a little bit. It just bends just a little bit, and it's just this kind of weird, like, motion of her standing up and watching everything kind of fall into place as her stomach hangs well below the band of her pants. And she stands nearly 8 foot tall, stretching slowly.
Alright, people boarded the ship. What are we gonna do about it?
I'm pretty sure there were 5 of them. And I don't know, we just figured that we would fight, so we wanted to get as many people in on it as we could. It's just us right now.
Okay, so how do we handle this? We just bust out and start cracking skulls?
She doesn't have a weapon, and neither does he. I have magic.
But there is something we could do.
What's that?
So you're playing dead before. You could still play dead. We get one of them in here, making it seem like something's wrong. When they come in, you take one out, and then we go from there. Just one less person.
I wasn't playing dead, I was taking a nap. But still, I like the plan. This seems good.
And she just kind of like sits back down and rolls back onto her back and just goes limp again.
Heiress is gonna go to the door and kind of like knock and try and creak it open.
Okay. Like half a second later, as soon as the knock is heard, a pirate quickly rushes in.
What are you doing? Get back!
I think she's dead.
Who's dead?
The one on the bed.
Oh, Jesus. How can you tell? She's monstrous.
I don't think she's breathing.
Well, I don't think that's a problem. I'm just gonna head back outside.
And he turns to start to walk away.
Heiress is going to use Firebolt.
Firebolt. All right, go ahead and try to roll an attack.
So 18.
Okay, 18 does in fact hit, so go ahead and roll for damage.
9.
You take your firebolt, and it causes this blue flame to emanate from your hand, and you launch it into his back, and he kind of stumbles forward towards the door, but still stands. He's just kind of wobbling right there at the door. The door was mostly closed over when he was already there. It's still open, though, because they swing out away from the actual rooms themselves. So he turns and looks towards you. I need you all to roll for initiative.
15.
13.
Okay. Sia is going to take the top of the initiative. So you see that he has just taken a bolt of fire to the back, and he has turned, sword already drawn, looking right at Heiress. What would you like to try to do?
I am going to try to kick him in the balls.
Okay, so roll me an unarmed attack. Jesus.
11.
You go up and kick, and he kind of turns and looks, and you just barely miss him. And he looks at you kind of like, I just can't believe you just tried to kick me in the nuts. He's actually offended more than anything. And that will be your turn. The orc is going to stand up, but it takes so much energy for the orc just to get back out of bed on its own that that's its turn. Heiress, you're up next. So you hit him with a firebolt. He turns, looks towards you. You can see that Sia has just run up and kicked right next to him. It would have been good if she hit, but just barely a miss. And then you just hear the grunting of the orc just going,
The bed's too soft. I can't get out. No, I got it.
it's your turn now.
I'm going to do Firebolt again.
Okay, roll me an attack.
19.
19 does hit. Roll for damage.
6.
So he's now looking at you, and he looks to the right to look at the person who just tried to kick him in the nuts. He's very offended by that, and you rear back and just throw the firebolt, hitting him in the left side of his face. You can see embers spark off as it engulfs his head for a second, and he stumbles back like he can't believe that just happened. And it's now going to be his turn. He's actually going to march down on you and try to take a stab at you. Before he's able to do that, though, he's leaving your area, Ketsia, so it means you get an attack of opportunity. You get a chance to try to attack him. What would you like to do?
I want to try to trip him.
Try to trip him? Okay. Roll me... Yeah, I guess just a normal attack. Just roll me an attack. Unarmed attack.
15.
15 hits. So he's walking over. He just barely leaves your zone, and you just hook his leg, and he just goes falling face down into it. And he's now laying prone. Now it is going to be his turn still, so he's going to use half of his movement to get up. And he's so outraged that you trip. You try to kick him in the nuts, and you've tripped him. He's going to leave to come back to you. Heiress, attack of opportunity.
Oh, I'm gonna do Firebolt again.
Firebolt, roll me an attack.
15.
15 hits, roll damage.
5.
5? Okay, he is dead as a doorknob. You reach back, and you can see he's turned away from you again, and you throw it right into the back of his head. And when you do, you can just see his skin start to turn black as you cinch the back of his head, and he just drops to his knees and falls over.
Oh my god.
Oh, he's dead as shit. You've murdered a man. You've never left your castle until earlier in the week, and now you've murdered someone.
I've never done that before, I swear.
I'm gonna just go over and grab a sword.
Okay, you find that his sword is a cutlass. It is in very, very bad condition. Almost unusable. It looks like if he would have hit you guys, it would have done almost nothing. But he does have 2 daggers on him.
Take the daggers instead.
Okay, you got 2 daggers. The orc is finally at her feet, and she reaches under her bed and pulls out a big warhammer.
She's like, oh, damn it, he's dead already. I was really looking forward to smashing him, but whatever. Who's next?
There's guessing more outside.
Okay.
So you can have the first pick of the next one.
Alright, so what's the plan?
Maybe 2 of us go right, 1 of us goes left when we go out.
Okay, so
So-
me and you, Fire One, we go right. You scrawny one, you go left. Sound good?
Am I the scrawny one?
You're scrawny one, yeah, you're scrawny one.
Oh. Yeah.
So you go
Okay.
left, we go right. Sound good?
Yes.
Okay, so you stand at the door, and you're kind of preparing yourself, and finally the door swings open, and you head to the left, and you can clearly see there's one in front of you as these 2 run to the right. They don't actually have any idea that you've exited your room yet, so you each get a surprise round. So what do you guys want to do in your surprise round?
I want to run up and try to stab him in the neck with one of the daggers.
Okay, go ahead and roll me an attack with the dagger then.
16.
16 does hit. Roll for damage.
5.
All right. Also roll me a d6 because as a rogue you get a sneak attack bonus. If they are unaware of you or if they're engaged with someone else, you can roll an additional d6 of damage.
Natural 6.
Oh shit! So 11 damage. So you walk up and you just jab it into his ribs and twist, and he just kind of like recoils back from it, amazed that you just stabbed him. What is Heiress going to be doing?
She is going to do Firebolt.
Okay, roll for an attack.
11.
Just shy. You fire it just past his head. He kind of recoils to the left, and it goes and hits the wood. And it's going to be her turn, but she's very large and very incapable of just moving on her own. So this is as far as she gets, and she's out of range. So that was a surprise round. So back at the top of the round, we'll go ahead and let Sia. You get another attack on this guy. What are you gonna do to him?
He's not dead yet?
No, you dug it into his ribs. He's still alive, and he's getting ready for you.
I'm gonna stab the other one into his throat.
Okay, roll me an attack.
9.
9's not going to hit. You're kind of like amazed you stabbed him. You can see the blood like running onto your dagger and a little bit on your hand, and you look down and go, and it's like a little nerve-wracking. So you're not actually watching when you swing with the next one, and you just miss him completely. Now able to fully move her action, she's going to take a swing on this pirate, and just from head to toe, swing her great hammer straight down, and he's just going to step out of the way, and it's going to crack the ground just beneath him. And it will be, in fact, a miss. Heiress, you're up.
Firebolt again.
Firebolt him. Roll for attack.
18.
18 does hit. Roll for damage.
9.
9 damage. You hit him center mass, and you can see he actually starts to burn some of his clothing off as it's like burning around him. He's like patting himself out, panicked. It's going to be their turn now. First up, the pirate that's right on top of Ketsia. He has a blade in his side. Is going to just try to hit you right in the face with an elbow. What is your AC, Ketsia?
15.
You rear back and you swing. He swings his elbow at you, and you just duck right under it, still holding the blade in his side, and he misses completely. The next is going to swing on the orc, who is also just going to miss. He sees that she swung down on him, and he swings his cutlass at her, and the cutlass actually breaks off. He's holding just like a barely half a sword, just kind of mesmerized. And Ketsia.
I'm going to try to stab him in the throat again.
All right, roll me an attack.
17.
17 definitely hits. Roll damage.
4.
It's a 4. You get that blade that's inside of him, you turn it, and instead of just pulling it out, you just kind of lift up with it, sliding it upward a little while still inside of him. He's looking rough. Orc is next, and the orc is once again going to try to take its best swing at this guy to see if he can get anywhere near hitting him. And finally she will. The hammer's still on the ground. Instead of just pulling it back, she's just going to turn and lift up into him, and it's going to knock him prone, so he just kind of falls over to the side, laying there still now. Heiress, what are you doing?
Firebolt.
Firebolt, roll an attack.
23.
23 definitely hits. Definitely hits. Roll damage. Actually, roll me another attack. Roll with advantage because he's prone. You might get a natural 20.
No, I got
Okay,
a 4.
that's fine. You still hit him. Roll for damage.
2.
You just kind of singe his foot this time. He's just kind of like stomping on it a little bit, just laying there. He's going to stand up, and he's getting quite sick of you throwing firebolts at him. He's going to try to head towards you, where our giant orc friend will try to stop him, but unfortunately just misses, once again swinging wildly right behind him. And he's going to get into view and try to take an attack on you. What is your AC?
14.
He rolls a 16, so he will in fact hit you.
Damn.
Let me roll for damage. You take 6 damage. Oh, no, 5 damage.
Oh no.
Top of the round, Sia.
Is any dagger still inside of him?
Yeah, you've got the one that just kind of slid up.
Then the other one that I have, I'm
Okay.
going to just try to stab him right in the side of the head.
One
with it.
attack. Let's see if you can get him.
12.
A 12 just barely makes it. Go ahead and roll damage.
5.
He's dead as a doorknob. What do you do to this guy? You have the blade twisted and dug up into him. How do you finish him?
So with the blade inside of him, I'm just gonna keep turning and pushing, just making sure that whatever is in his head or any part of him is just not really in one piece anymore.
Yeah, you have the blade deep in his side, and you're pulling it up further, twisting the blade as you go up, and clearly you've hit an artery as your hand is just drenched in warm blood, and he falls dead.
I want to make sure I take my daggers up too.
Oh, you were hold on to it the whole time. You're fine.
Okay.
Orc is up next. The Orc, seeing this big guy on his way here, is getting kind of worried, so she's going to go ahead and charge the captain, but not quite make it in range. Heiress.
Yeah, I'm gonna do firebolt again.
So yeah, just go ahead and roll an attack.
So 7,
17 does in fact hit. Roll damage.
4.
And with that, he is dead. How do you do this?
She's just gonna kind of like slowly back up and just like throw it.
Oh, you're okay. It's a pretty ginger toss. You see him coming at you, and you've just been stabbed, which is kind of alarming. So you just back up and throw it, and it hits him in the chest. You can see it kind of cave his chest in. And you can see like his bones start to be exposed, and it burns away his flesh, and he just falls limp. Next up is going to be the pirate. The pirate is going to go ahead and chase him head on, or chase her head on, and just shoulder charges into him. Let me have a little looky-loo here. +5. Okay. Not really realizing how large this orc really is. He thinks he's stronger than he is. He rears in shoulder first and doesn't move him an inch. And he looks up kind of like he might have just fucked himself. See ya, top of the round.
I'm just gonna take a second to just look at the blood on my hands.
Okay.
It's almost like I don't notice anything going on right now, and then reality kicks in.
Okay.
So I'm gonna use the remainder of that to try to move up as much as I can.
You get basically right next to him. You're not going to be able to attack this turn unless you try to throw those daggers. They do have a range to them of 20 feet, which he's out of range, but you can roll with disadvantage at 60 feet.
I'm just gonna hold for next turn, though.
Okay, would you like to hold an action?
No, I'm just gonna wait.
Just gonna wait? Okay. The big orc stands there and looks down and kind of chuckles. But really, it's a two-handed hammer she wields, and she can't really swing directly down on top of herself, so she's just swinging near him, kind of frantically panicking, almost holding the hammer like a broom, trying to sweep him away, just not quite able to get it to make contact. Heiress.
So if I throw my firebolt at that person, will it hit the orc?
If
Like,
you
do I
like a
have-
critical fail, yes. You would need probably to move to have a clear shot.
So I want to move up a little bit. Like
Okay.
I just want to go to that door for the first cabin.
Okay, so you land right about there, we'll say. And go ahead and roll
Okay.
me an attack.
13.
You can see that he sees it coming and just kind of leans to the left, using the orc more for cover, and just the fire just barely misses him, and he's fine. It's going to be his turn next. He's once again going to take out his cutlass, and when he pulls it, it's this ornate golden sword. It shines bright as he rears back and tries to dig upwards into this giant orc. Jesus fuck, I'm rolling like shit. He's not able to make contact, misses completely. They're just kind of like fumbling over each other. No real progress being made on either end. Ketsia, what's Sia up to?
I'm gonna move up as much as I can.
Directly towards me, we've got to have an angle.
I want to go to an angle up a little.
30. That's as far as you can get.
Okay, I'm just gonna hold for now with my daggers. For if he charges me, I just want to just stab him in the stomach.
Okay, so you're just going to hold an action if he comes within range. All right, the orc is going to go ahead, and he's getting sick of the hammer. It's not working up close. Drops it. It's going to try to pick him up and just toss him towards the stairs. But unfortunately, he just can't get... The pirate, although not nearly as large as the orc, is very wily. You can see him kind of rolling in and out of the way, trying to dodge and things like that, and it's just not working well. Heiress.
I would like to firebolt.
Firebolt. Roll me a firebolt.
25?
25 definitely hits. Roll for damage.
2.
Okay, you just kind of like singe off of his shoulder a little bit. He doesn't react very much to it. It's going to be their turn now. So you can see that the captain is getting sick of this, and he's going to back up, giving the orc an opportunity of attack, which they're finally going to hit. He grabs the hammer real quick and swings and digs it into his side. But now the person who was standing silently behind them walks to the top of the stairs and is actually going to use Gust of Wind on Sia.
That's not nice.
A line of strong wind 60 feet long and 10 feet wide blasts from you in a direction you choose for the spell's duration. You must make a strength save. Otherwise, you will be blown back.
So 16.
You feel the wind coming and it hits you, and your hood goes flying back and your hair's blowing all over the place, and you just kind of endure it, and you are able to not be blown backwards. But you can tell that if you walk through this same line, that it is going to hinder movement going forward.
Okay.
Sia, top of the round.
I want to move up a little at an angle.
Okay. Kind of away from them or closer to them?
Kind of like diagonally away from.
Okay.
And I want to throw a dagger at the person that was trying to do the wind at me.
Okay, you just step out of the way, and as soon as you can feel the wind out of your chest, you can breathe a little easier. Roll me an attack.
14.
14. I actually don't know if that hits. It does. It does, in fact, hit. Roll damage.
3.
Okay, so, you stick him. He's not, it just kind of glances off of him. You will not have that blade. You will have to recover it.
Okay, but I still have one, though. Just want to make
Yes,
sure.
you still have one. 3 damage. Yeah, no, it just kind of sliced off of his shoulder. It fell somewhere kind of behind him near the deck. The orc is up, and the orc is going to just try to smash into him with all her might, hammer throwing. She's going to make contact, and with a pretty good thud, just kind of digs it into his side once again. His left side kind of swelling up at this point. Heiress.
Firebolt.
Firebolt him. Let's hear that.
Oh shit, natural 1.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no. You definitely throw that firebolt. You rear back with everything you have and actually slam the firebolt into the back of your little orc friend. Roll me damage.
1.
It just kind of hits and disperses off of their back. They're so large, they are where you hit them. It was fine. The pirates are going to be up now, and the pirate kind of mage you kind of see in the background is going to attack with acid arrow. So he's going to try to shoot an arrow at Sia. It is a natural 1. You can see that he pulls back this mystic arrow and fires it towards you, and it just midair seems to lose concentration, and it evaporates before it even hits you.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. The captain, on the other hand, is going to try to take another stab at this orc who is just so big it's hard to get the blade into and unable to really do anything with it. See you, top of the round.
I'm going to run up to the pirate captain,
Okay.
and I'm just going to try to just stab him.
Okay, go ahead and roll me an attack.
11.
An 11's not going to quite do it. You kind of lost your footing running through the gust of wind that was still just now dispersing. So when you got there, you just swung a little wild and missed. The orc is going to take an attack, though, and instead of trying to hit him, they're going to try to just grapple him, bear hug him as hard as they can to see that if they can get out. And they, in fact, will do that. They're just going to drop the hammer at their side and just bear hug the captain so that you can have easier luck on hitting him now. Heiress.
So I would like to move to where I can see that mage guy,
Okay.
and I would like to use Chaos Bolt.
Chaos Bolt. All right. Go ahead and read Chaos Bolt for everyone at home.
You hurl an undulating, warbling mass of chaotic energy at one creature in range. Make a ranged spell attack against the target. On hit, target takes 2d8 plus 1d6 damage. Choose one of the d8s. The number rolled on the dice determines the attack's damage.
Sounds good. Go ahead and roll me an attack down. See if you hit him.
19.
You hit.
3.
You hit. Yeah, these are level 1s. You definitely hit.
Oh.
Go ahead and roll me the 2d8 of damage, as well as a third d8 to determine what kind of special damage.
A 4, an 8, and 14.
Okay, yeah.
And
What kind of damage? What kind of bolt are we firing at him?
it is 4.
You got
Or no,
force?
thunder.
Oh, you got thunder. So you throw this bolt in midair. You see it crack into a bolt of thunder, and it lets out this loud bang about halfway, causing a sonic boom. And it hits him square in the chest. And you can see him kind of get electrified from it, and the boom has really kind of disoriented him. The pirates are next. So the pirate, being very unhappy with you throwing some kind of crazy fucking magic at him, is going to turn towards you and go ahead and try to fire another arrow. That is going to miss then. Yeah, this time he gets a lot closer. You see the arrow dig into your feet. You can see it spewing this kind of green acid poison off of every direction of it, but he does in fact miss. The pirate captain is going to try to roll to get out of the grapple, which he will fail miserably, and he is just kind of floundering in this giant orc's grip. See ya, top of the round.
So I am going to take my one dagger I have, and I am going to try to shove it into the side of the pirate that's in front of the...
Okay, roll with advantage because he is grappled, and he's not able to really defend himself.
12.
12? 12?
Yeah, first one was a 7.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, no, not quite able to make it. Yep, he's, you're swinging at him, you're just kind of like violently slashing. You're really struggling with the fact that you took a life just a minute ago. And the giant orc, who no one knows her name, is going to just use her action to try to make sure she can maintain that grip, which she does just fine. Just squeezing him right there. Heiress.
So, I would like to use Witch Bolt now.
Ooh, what does Witch Bolt do?
It's a beam of crackling blue energy lances out toward a creature within range, forming a sustained arc of lightning between you and the target. Make a ranged spell attack.
Let's go ahead and attack it then. Let's see you hit it.
12.
12 just barely hits. It does hit. Roll me a d12 of damage.
6.
6 damage?
Yes.
You can see your hand extend forward as a blue beam of lightning comes firing out, hit him directly in the chest. You see him kind of shudder from this, being like slid backwards and just not handling this well whatsoever. It's going to be their turn now. The pirate captain will once again try to break free. My God, is he just ill-equipped. He's just not capable of getting out of this. And the mage is very upset with just the entire ordeal. So in an instant, they disappear.
All of them?
No, just the mage in the back.
Oh, I was gonna say. Like, oh.
So see ya, top of the round. He's not excited. He's now being held, and he can hear his friend abandoning him.
So I'm going to grab him and just take my dagger and just throw it right into his stomach.
All right, 2 more advantages. Let's see what you do with it.
19!
Ayo, there you go. That's an attack, and since he is currently engaged, you do get sneak attack, so roll me your typical damage and an additional d6.
7 and 2.
Okay, so you go ahead and you jab it into his side again, and you're holding on to him so you can't move even more, and you just dig it into him. And again, the first time you did this, you twisted real good. It's kind of made you squeamish. You do a slight turn. The 2 damage is just a little baby turn. Just enough. Just enough he knows. Okay, it's going to be the orc's turn. Orc, once again, going to ensure that it can hold that grip. The orc is taking all of my good rolls, is in fact holding that grip. Heiress. The person you were just concentrating on shooting lightning into has just vanished.
Can I direct that on anyone else?
I don't think you can redirect it.
Okay, yeah, I don't think so either. I think it's just between me and the one person. So, I would like to use Firebolt.
Firebolt it is. Go ahead and roll me an attack on him with advantage because he's being grappled.
23.
23 hits, roll damage.
10.
Okay, you go ahead and swing up on him, and you thrust your hand forward, shooting another firebolt right into the side of his head, and he kind of looks at you and just sitting there going, "Yar, please, be giving me mercy. We were wrong to attack your ship. We understand that now." See at top of the round. He is now pleading for his life because he's just being bear hugged and stabbed and burned, and he's having a bad time. He doesn't look good at all. What are you going to do?
Is my dagger still in him?
Yo, yeah, you're still got it buried in.
I'm just gonna pull it out and try to stab again.
Oh, God. Okay, yeah, roll me another attack with advantage because he is still grappled.
Oh, thank God. 15.
15, I believe hit. Let me double check. Oh, that's a hit. He has a AC of 14. Roll damage. He is looking miserable.
That's a 6.
Oh, roll me sneak attack because he's still engaged with someone else.
Oh, it's a 4.
Oh, how do you want to do it? He's dead.
Oh, I don't. Just keep stabbing him.
He
Stab,
pled
stab.
Oh my
for
God.
mercy.
He pled for mercy and was stabbed. So you rear back, you put the blade in, and you see him go limp, and he looks at you, and his eyes are just pleading, and you start to panic, and you rear back and just keep stabbing and stabbing, wildly jabbing the blade into him. Maybe a single tear rolls down your cheek. Who really knows? Your hood's back up, and you're just stabbing away until the orc just drops him because he's drenched in blood now and kind of annoyed, and he falls dead. We're no longer in combat. Free actions for everybody. You guys can do whatever you want.
I want to go grab my dagger that I threw.
Okay, yeah, you do that well enough. You
Pled
go.
for mercy, lady.
I'm just gonna run back to my room.
Because I'm gonna check him and see if he's alive.
Okay, go ahead and give me a medicine check.
14.
You reach down and you check his pulse and you press your fingers into his neck. And before you even have time to look, you look at the probably 14 stab wounds in his side and how there's just a chunk of meat missing. He's dead.
Oh my God. Randy!
A few moments later, little Randy goes,
Yes, oh my god.
You think we could get anything useful off of him?
Let me, check him, madam.
he reaches down and is kind of hesitant to really touch this guy. He's kind of uncomfortable. But upon searching his body, you find that he has a golden engraved sword. It looks like it's made of pure gold. It looks pretty impressive. As well as you find there is a small blue gem.
Ooh, I also want that.
Oh, and 8 silver.
Oh, okay.
So add 8 silver to your inventory. Into your notes, just add small blue gem. You don't have any way of identifying what this is. Are you holding it or is Randy holding it?
I'll probably keep the blue gem on me.
Okay. Randy reaches over and hands it to you, and as soon as you close it in your fist, you can feel there's a weird vibration coming from it.
Can I kind of check it out?
Go ahead and just give me an Arcana check.
14?
You've never heard or seen anything like this before, but you're kind of swaying back and forth, and as you do, you realize that it is changing the amount of vibration depending on where you are.
I'm going to move around and see if it starts vibrating more.
You start walking towards the front of the boat, and you can feel it vibrating less and less. You start heading more towards the right side of the boat, and again, it's a little bit more. And as you follow it, it slowly starts dragging you towards this hatch in the back.
I'm gonna knock on it. Hello?
Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Natural 20.
You can hear the slight, like, shuddering of things, and you don't really know what's happening, but you hear, "No, you be quiet. I swear to God, I will fucking kill you." Just very faintly through the door,
We killed all the pirates.
and there is no response.
I swear.
No response.
I'm gonna open it.
Okay, around this time, the orc has gone back over to Ketsia and goes,
Hooded girl, there's some weird stone that your friend is following around the ship. It's kind of weird.
Oh, okay. I'm just gonna get up and run out to see.
I'm going back to bed.
she just kind of falls. Her arms are completely drenched in blood because she was squeezing the captain as you were stabbing, just causing spurts of blood to cover her arms. She seems unfazed. She goes back to bed. And as you walk over, you can hear her. You can hear your new companion, Heiress. We killed all the pirates. Hello. And you're now here right as she starts to open the door, and the door is unlocked and opens right up into a stairway heading down.
I'm going to say, I'm coming down. It's Heiress. And I'm gonna go down.
Is Sia following?
Yes.
You all enter this new area and don't see anything right away besides a small, ill-lit room with a door towards the west side.
I'm going to produce flame.
Okay. It lights up the room even more, making it visible light.
And I'm gonna continue following the blue gem.
Okay, it's at this point it's just buzzing in your hand, pretty aggressively, and you're at this now closed door.
I wanna knock on it.
Okay, a good old fashioned, with nothing following it.
We killed the pirates.
There appears to be no answer.
I'm coming in. Don't shoot.
Okay, you walk to the door and realize the door is locked.
And now, I'm going to use firebolt on the door.
Okay, roll me an attack.
Can I try to stop her?
Yeah, if you'd like.
Yeah, I don't think we should do that. We're on a ship. It'll go down. We're gonna burn. We're gonna burn this whole ship down.
Well, I have a way to put out the fire, so
Oh,
yeah.
Hey, why don't you give me a perception check?
14.
Just over to your left, towards the south side of the boat, you realize that there is a lantern with some things on it that kind of look like lockpicking tools.
Okay,
Convenient.
don't shoot. You don't do anything yet. Let me try something. I'm gonna try to get the lock picking stuff and try to just pick the lock.
Okay, roll me a thieves' tools check.
18.
18 is more than enough. You look at it, and you've fiddled with things before, and you've read probably a book on this kind of stuff, finding it kind of interesting. But you've never physically done it. You put it in and find you're a natural at it, unlocks it immediately. The door is now unlocked.
I'm gonna slowly start opening the door.
The door slowly opens up until you are in the next room.
Yeah, Heiress is gonna continue to follow the blue gem.
Okay. You're able to squeeze right past her into the open view, and as you look over here, you can see that your captain is currently being held by the robed figure. The robed figure bleeding out of one nose, shakily holding a dagger across the captain's throat. Okay, we've clearly made a mistake by coming here, but you guys leave, and wherever you stop, you just drop me off and we're fine.
Let him go and we will.
No, he's leverage. He makes sure that you guys don't stab me a lot.
We're not killers. She is, but I'm not.
She threw a knife at me! Who throws a knife?
So I'm gonna step
saying
forward
I'm not.
and I'm gonna put my head down a little. So we don't really need that captain, and we don't need you. So either you let him go, or you both die, I guess.
Roll me an intimidation check.
16. Hopefully that's enough.
You see him, he's looking at you, he's like, you're bluffing. You're bluffing! Jesus Christ, please just don't kill me! And he lets go of the guard, or the captain. The captain steps away, and he just falls to his knees. Okay, Jesus, you're all crazy!
Give us all your stuff.
What?
And I'm gonna go walk up and be like, give us all your stuff.
Okay, good God, you're all insane! And, with looting of the mage, you are able to find 2 gold pieces as well as a small blue gem that, when near its partner, vibrate.
What are these gems for?
Oh, they're to fight each other, so my captain and I could always be together. But oh God, you killed him, didn't you? Fuck you, sweet. You killed him.
She killed him.
I don't care who killed him. He's still dead.
Tie him up, Captain.
The captain's like, oh, yeah, Jesus, that's probably a good idea. I do have some extra rope. We should probably tie him up and get him the hell out of here. And he wraps the rope around him a few times and ties him up real tight.
Oh my gosh. And I'm gonna grab it and I'm gonna be like, hey, you wanna be gem buddies? And like look back at her.
I'm gonna walk up and I'll be like grabbing one gem out of her hand. It's Sia.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Sia.
No, I would say the same, except under these circumstances, I don't know if it is, but yeah.
Yeah. We killed people.
I think I'm gonna go back to the room now.
And you do just that. The captain ensures that the person is tied up nice and tight and that you shouldn't have to worry about them any longer. And you go ahead and head back upstairs, sit in your rooms, and as you enter, you find your giant orc friend snoring very loudly. You probably will not get much rest. But slowly we pan out to watch the ships cruising towards this magnificent Emerald City. Its walls can be found standing far above the rest as slowly you sail over the city of Greenmoor. And that is where we're going to end it for now. We will pick this back up on episode 1.